Hey, Untitled Kitchenaires, I just wanna send you big ups, and I'm also doing a video on the benefits of cassava. The other day, I think came to me about cassava being helpful in the prevention of cancer or the healing of the cancer cells in our bodies. And food is very important to me: health and wealth, vibrancy. In 2018, I lost my little sister. She passed on into the other realm through a disease called lupus. So based upon certain studies that I've done, I realized that lupus is actually similar in nature to cancer. It affects the cells and it just eats you away. My little sister, she was in her prime. She was about to turn 21. You know that's in your prime, right? Beautiful, beautiful being, beautiful person in character and in physical looks. Beautiful person. And it was very tough that year. And because I realized that my food journey started in 2016, I felt like I should have been able to heal her. And so I didn't deal with it really well. I blamed a lot of people. And I hide behind blaming a lot of people because I blamed myself on a deeper level. Because I felt like this food journey, this transition in dietary changes and choices came to me maybe to heal my sister. And I didn't. So I blamed myself for not being able to step up to her and to guide her into a better place, health-wise. And I felt like she was depending on me to be there for her, and I couldn't. I wasn't there. And in 2018, days before her birthday, she made her transition. I just want to also share that the brighter side to death is that when a person passes, they no longer suffer. They literally transition into that state of being back to source, back with God. And that, they're in that care of God, you'd say. And so all is forgiven. All is already looked past. And sometimes we tend to carry guilt and shame with us when we lose someone in our lives that was close to us. But on a higher level, on a higher sense, people that pass away, they do not take with them these feelings of guilt. They only vibrate high in order to come back again. If you believe in reincarnation, but energy lives on, and her presence is still very much felt all the time. It's as if she isn't even gone. It's as if she still has her input in our lives in a beautiful way. I always say she's like Xena, the warrior princess. Her spirit, her essence is that of that nature to me. And she has a very forgiving heart, and she's filled with love. And that is what stays here. And so I still feel the need to share healing methods, or to whatever source of healing and well-being information that I come upon. I wish to put it out there and share, because a voice cannot be too much. And once you feel inspired to do something, it only means that we're meant to do it. And so most of my work is done through inspiration, and I am inspired to talk about cassava today. Now, before I even came across this information, I got some cassava and I was looking at it. How it is. It looks like bone marrow, bone. And while I was eating this vegetable, I was saying to myself, it looks as if it is good for the bones. And if you've seen other posts where they talk about certain foods being good for the body part that it is good for, that it looks like, But cassava, the color of it, the texture, the smell of it, it represents bone to me, the life of bones. And even the fact that it grows beneath the earth in the way that it does, and then it has these like these viney kind of trees that grows up from it. It represents fragility, not fragility, maybe flexibility, agility is the word I'm saying. It represents agility, movement, flexibility, growth, strength, girth. It represents like that thing, the gristles that you found in your body that helps us to move and to be better, to be well and fit. So when I was eating that cassava back in the day, that's what I was feeling. I know I came across this the other day about cassava being good for cancerous cells. So I did a little research and I've put together a few of the other benefits of cassava, how it helps with cancer, how to eat it, and I hope that you will reap great benefits from this information, and it will be very satisfactory to your well-being, to your lifestyle. Okay? Sometimes we have to know that something is good for us, and then it works. So let us all believe in the good messages that many are inspired to share with us, the good messages that we come across, and let us share these messages. Let us implement them in our lives and know that they're working. Know that they're for our best benefits, because Jah loves us. I always say that Jah loves us. If you look out in creation, you cannot deny that Jah loves us. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about cassava. Stay tuned. Hi, so let us talk about cassava. Cassava is an edible tropical root vegetable that grows abundantly here on the island of Jamaica. With little care needed, the root vegetable can grow up to 15 inches in length and is a very solid feeling plant. The outside of this plant is of a brown earthy color, and inside, beneath the skin, is a fibrous white tuber. For many years, Jamaicans have been using this plant to make a special Jamaican dish that is popularly known as fry fish and bami, with the cassava being the base of the bami. The flour from the cassava is also known as tapioca flour and is gluten-free. This flour is obtained by grating the tubular part of the cassava after peeling the skin away, squeezing out the excess water from the grated product, and drying the remaining pulp to make flour. Because the cassava has so much starch, this dried flour may be used as a powder in treatment of skin rashes and inflammations such as measles. So to make a measles treatment from cassava, basically, you're going to grate the cassava tuber and put the pulp and all of the grated pulp into a bath of warm water, and then immerse your body into that water. If for babies, especially for babies that has rashes, so immerse your body into that bath of water and sit there for a few minutes. You can also do this method for skin rashes by drying the cassava flour or the cassava pulp into a flour or powdery substance and just apply it to your skin. So it's great for your skin, it's great for your skin tone, it's great for growing your hair. So the starchy water from the cassava can be used for growing your hair. You know, like these days there's a popular thing going around with using the rice water to grow our hair, and I'm guessing it's the same thing with the starch, because the rice water has starch, the cassava water has starch in it as well. So it's great for your hair, for your skin tone, for skin blemishes and rashes. So the starchy content of the cassava makes it very rich in carbohydrates. Other nutrients found in cassava are thiamine, riboflavin. It is rich in calories, fiber, calcium. It has the leaves also contain nutrients such as niacin, iron, and vitamin C. Other names for the cassava are yucca or arrowroot, or the scientific name is actually Maniot esculenta crans. It is also called a camotenca hoy, or you can reference back to your encyclopedias for other names for the cassava plant. When it comes down to the treatment of cancer cells, cassava has in it components that help to protect the plant while it is underground from pests eating it away. And this substance is a cyanogen that induces cyanide, and we know that cyanide is a poison. So for this reason, many people or some people are cautious of the way they eat cassava, because the raw cassava has cyanide in it, and when you cook it, you rinse it and cook it, you get rid of some of that cyanide that may poison the body. But it is the cyanide that helps to kill off the cancerous cells in the body. I can't give a method on how to use it, but that's the way it is done. That is the way it helps with the healing of cancer, to get rid of the cancerous cells, because once the cancerous cells remain in our bodies, they keep spreading to the other good cells and eating away at the good cells. So you can imagine, if something is going to reduce cancerous cells, it's basically bringing the bodies into a healthier state of being. And I think that also you're going to need to do much more than just kill cancer cells in order to come to complete healing. But I really want to share that. So this cyanide, this cassava, the cyanide that is produced in the cassava is mainly used in treatment of prostate and bladder cancers for whatever reason, but that's what it is. So a way to prepare our cassava is you want to soak it in some water for a little bit to help to get rid of the cyanide that is naturally produced in it, and then boil it to kill off as much of the deadly cyanide as possible. We don't want to overeat it. There are different types of cassava. I've come across 2 types. I think there are 3 types, but I have come across 2 types, and that's the white cassava, which is it's fresh and it may have a bitterish taste to it. And there's a sweet cassava, which I was eating some of the other day, which is more of a yellow texture when it is cooked. That one is nice. That one is very nice when it's cooked. It's like you're eating another root vegetable. The white cassava can be a bit fibrous when it is cooked. And that is the white cassava is actually the one that reminds me the most of bone marrow, or the structure of bone. I was comparing the cassava and its resemblance to bone and the cancer, because we know that bone marrow contains healing. I don't know how it works, honestly, but you hear of people wanting bone marrow transplant, especially in leukemia and other cancers like that. So that's why I was comparing cancer and the healing of cancer, and how I believe that cassava may be of benefit in this case here. So that's it. The cassava leaves can also be eaten. We can steam them and cook them like a regular vegetable. The cassava leaves, when they're cooked, that is when iron is present in them. Similar to callaloo, it's when you cook the callaloo that it is most potent in iron. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this bit of information helpful and enlightening. And to see that we are a vibrant people. We've been eating good for a minute now. For years we've been eating good food. It's just knowing the benefits of them that actually liberates us and brings us closer to the healing abilities of these plants that we're eating. And know how to eat in moderation is another important key. Eating in moderation. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to me. Be blessed. Much love to you. And remember, eat well, walk good. Also, remember to like and subscribe to Untitled Kitchen. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family members. All right. Always spreading good vibrations here. Bless.